Hi there, Glenda from Herons on the Fly. Today we're going to do some deep cleaning in the RV. One of the reasons I wanted to RV was to get away from doing all this and maintaining a big house. But the reality is you still need to take care of your systems in the RV so that they work and you're good to go when you get out on the road. So today we're going to talk about refrigerator coils, washers and dryers, air return filters, and just doing some deep cleaning in general. So stick around and hopefully my tips will help you. So I use Scott's Liquid Gold. That's what Tiffin recommends to use on the woodwork. So I do this once or twice a year and wipe down all the cabinets to keep them looking nice and conditioned. So I've already done all that in the coach. After I'm done with the cabinets, I'll take some ear swabs and spray them with the Scott's so that I can get them in the louver doors and the vents that are all over the coach. You wouldn't believe how much dirt accumulates in those. So in our coach, there are all sorts of vented areas like this. This is a speaker vent above the fireplace. There's also louvers on the washer and dryer door that just get really dirty up in there, and it's hard to get in there and clean them. And in the bedroom, there's louver doors. And one place that loves to collect dust is this area that holds all the electronics for the TV. This is where the fan is behind here. And this gets really dirty. So the reason I do all this, of course, is to make sure everything's functioning correctly and has air circulation, but also for allergies, to reduce the dust in the coach. So check out your louver doors. Okay, we have a residential refrigerator in our coach, and just like in a house, you have to clean these refrigerator coils that are underneath here. So you just take a screwdriver and unscrew these screws. Okay, so I've got the screws out. I'm just gonna pop this off. Right, and I have a flashlight here so we can see. Ugh. All right, I do this once a year so you can see the dust and dirt that accumulates. That's just in a year. So I might have to start doing this every 6 months. So I'll get my vacuum cleaner with an attachment on it and try and get in there and get that dust out. All right, looks a little bit better. I got a big bulk of it off. Now I'm gonna get some rags and get in there with my hand. And all right, so that certainly looks cleaner than it did before. I think I'll put the cover back on it and call that job completed. Okay, fortunately my washer and dryer are in the hallway and not back in the bathroom like a lot of the new models that I see. It would be a little more challenging to get back there and clean those. So to do this job, I'm going to talk about the washing machine first. Sometimes you'll get an odor coming out of here, and what I have found is that it's from this rubber seal that goes around the drum. All right, so you have to pull this back and clean inside this drum area. Now, I already did this, so you can't really see a lot of dirt in here. And I didn't think to video it. There's still some dirt there. So I didn't get it totally clean. But what I will do is, first I'll take a dry towel and stick it inside of there and go all the way around the inside to clean that out. Just run it all the way up. You wouldn't believe the amount of crud that you will get out of there. It's disgusting. And then what I'll do is I'll take my bleach and water solution, which I always have in a spray bottle. It's about 50-50, is pretty strong. But I will pull this back, spray inside of there with my spray bottle. So I'll pull it back all the way around, spray it, and let it sit for a couple minutes, just a couple minutes. So after I've cleaned that rubber drum out as much as I can, I will fill this with a full load of detergent, like I'm doing a full load of wash, and bleach, and just run it on number 1, which is the cotton regular, at the highest heat temperature and longest cycle. And then once it's done, I'll get back in there with a cloth towel and a wipe all the way around in there again. And that seems to take care of that problem. And I don't have a regular time that I do that in. It's just depends on when I start getting that odor in there, to try and control that and to keep the mold and mildew from building up underneath here. So, and that's what I do for my washing machine. All right, I cannot get my vacuum cleaner and attachment up in this opening for where the screen is for the dryer. So I have come up with ways to clean this out. I always clean the screen after every load, but to do this job I use barbecue skewers, paper towels, a flashlight, and of course I need a footstool because I'm short and can't get up there. So if you take the cover out, or the vent filter out, and you actually look down in there, looks like coins and guitar picks and all kinds of dust. Now I clean this out every 2 months probably. All right, so I can't really do this. I'm just going to show you quickly, and then I kind of try and get in here and get the biggest blobs of the lint out between the openings here. But like I said, I can't really hold the camera and do this and the flashlight at the same time. So I'm going to go finish this. Okay, so once I kind of push all that stuff through that grid, I just kind of put my hand down in there and pull out whatever I pushed through. So there you go. That was the clump I got out from the grid. Now we're going to try and get all this fun stuff out of the bottom. So I wet paper towels. Well, I'll use a dry paper towel first. So I use the blunt end and I just kind of stuff it down in there and then slope it up the side and kind of push it out like that. So that's what I have recovered so far. So now I have a couple still random coins down in there that I have to get out. And I MacGyver a way to get those out. I've tried all sorts of things and I'll show you what I use. So I know this is kind of weird, but I chew up a couple pieces of gum and tape them to the end of one of these sticks and put it down in there. And sometimes I can get the coin out like that. Let's see if we can get another one. It's like fishing for coins. All right, success. I've gotten all the coins and the guitar picks out of there, and the majority of the dirt is out of there. All right, so now I'm just gonna wet a paper towel and see if I can get that last bit of dirt out of the bottom of it. Okay, looks pretty clean. I'm happy with that. And all right, cool beans. So I just have to put the filter back in, and I'll clean the drum out because there's some dirt in there. And so this was the result of cleaning that out. That's everything that was in the lint trap underneath the lint filter. So I know it was a little MacGyver-y, but it works for me. We have so much lint in there because we wear a lot of cotton clothes and we have cotton sheets and towels. So you may not have the lint built up like we do, but check your dryer and make sure it's cleared out. I also use wool dryer balls, which you can find in the grocery store. They're like $1 or $2. Wool will absorb up to 30% of its own weight in water before it feels damp. So it cuts down on drying time and it reduces static in your clothes. So instead of using the dryer sheets, try this. I love these. I've had these for 2 or 3 years now. Okay, so depending on where we are in the country, if we're out in Montana, Idaho, and Wyoming, where it's really dusty, or Texas, these air conditioning return vents get really dusty. So you just pop them down, take this little cover off, and then you can get to the air filters. I just take all of this and throw it in the sink and wash them. Time to put the air filters back up. I have already popped these down and washed them all. The filters you can just rinse off and they dry pretty quick. And I've reused these. I don't know how many years I've reused these now. So, but the dirt, you can just rinse it right out. So I'll put these back together and pop them in the ceiling. Okay, so before I pop them back up here, I'll just wipe out the inside of this because sometimes dust collects in there. And just pop them back up and we're good to go. Okay, the other once or twice a year project I do is taking all the screens out of the windows and cleaning them. So the first time I had to do this, I couldn't figure out how to get them out the window. So there's these little flexible, I don't know what to call them, connectors on the screen. So depending on the window, you either have to push it in and then up and pull it out. So just fiddle around with those until you figure out how to get them out. So I just take them out and hose them off and let them dry in the sun. So I'm not going to put these back on until we get the coach washed. That way the outside of the windows get clean because the screens are off. Well, we got a lot done today, didn't we? So I hope this helps, gives you some tips on how to maintain your systems in your coach and keep things working properly. It was great to have you spend time with me. I appreciate it. If you have any questions or comments, things I didn't cover, please leave them in the comments below. I'd love to share any of my 5 years of knowledge with you if it would help you get some answers, if I can. So stay with us. We're going to have a lot more fun videos coming up instead of cleaning videos as we travel down the road this summer. And like, share, and subscribe. We are Herons on the Fly.